Get everything you need for your next job without the hassle at AquaBluMosaics.com. We carry everything from high-quality pool tile, porcelain pavers, grout, fire and water features, and everything in between that you need to get your project done and put some money in your pocket. A literal showroom in the palm of your hand, we are the most powerful tool any pool contractor can have in their pocket. Become an Aqua Pro and save money on every order, get free samples, and have full access to our unmatched customer service. Easy to remember, hard to forget. Visit AquaBluMosaics.com.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Pool Magazine Podcast. Today I'm chatting with Mike Collins, president and owner of Tenjam out of Baxter, Minnesota. They manufacture a line of pool and outdoor living furniture that we're going to learn a little bit more about today. It's a pleasure to have you with us today on the show, Mike.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me, Joe.
Hey, listen, Mike, so before we get deep into our conversation, could you give us a little bit of bio about yourself and how you first got started manufacturing furniture? When did you launch Tenjam and what first motivated you to start this company?
Sure. I got into the commercial or contract furniture industry as a salesperson back in the late 2000s. And in 2013, I launched Tenjam. And our focus was on outdoor education furniture. And through that, we ended up getting into rotomolding and launched our first rotomolded products in 2015. And I'll come back to rotomolding and why rotomolding. But then in 2020, I hired a sales manager. His name's John Grifford, and he was instrumental in showing me that we needed to build furniture that goes into pools, which really uses the same rotomolded material and manufacturing processes. And then we launched our product line called the Splash Series in 2020. And from there, we've just been off to the races in the in-pool furniture market. But back to rotomolding. So from 2013 to 2015, I used to have machines that cut big blocks of foam into shapes. And then we had a rubberized coating that would turn that into furniture. And so we did a lot of custom products. But schools would order just simple shapes like cubes and circles. And so here we were with this custom furniture process that we had, and we're making just standard shapes. So I determined that we had to get into rotomolding, and things that are rotomolded, like products that are rotomolded. If you think about like a high-end cooler that you take out of fishing or hunting, and things like plastic playground slides or canoes and kayaks, or even the garbage can that you wheel down to your curb. Those are all rotomolded products. And at this time, we were selling a lot of furniture into schools, and that coated foam product line we're making, the kids were just destroying it. So I knew what we need to do next was make something that was just as strong as it could be. And so rotomolded plastics, it's a slow manufacturing process, but basically you have these giant aluminum molds that are hollow, and you put as much plastic as you need inside the tool to make the thickness of the wall that you want. In our case, just a little bit under a 1/4 inch, so really thick plastic wall. And then you mold this product, and every time that product, you open that mold, a perfect product was coming out every time. And the rotomolded products are so strong that since 2015, when we launched the product line, we've only had a couple of warranty returns. And when I say a couple, I mean like 2 so far with our actual molded hard plastic products, just because they are just so strong. And we sell into 2 of the toughest environments that you could put furniture into, which is outdoor education with kids and furniture that goes into swimming pools. And so that's rotomolding, but it was definitely a struggle to get into the rotomolding process. But we ended up in 2017, through getting into the rotomolding industry, we merged with a company in Minnesota, and we built our own rotomolding factory. And now our rotomolding factory is directly connected to the tooling factory, where we make all the tooling to make our products. So we're really efficient with our not only tooling maintenance, but manufacturing being connected in adjacent buildings.
Basically, the connotation in the minds of consumers about plastic furniture is it's a cheap product, right?
Yeah.
But your product is much, much different than the plastic backyard chairs that we saw
Sure.
Father's Day. Can you talk a little bit about what differentiates your product from a lot of the plastic furniture that consumers already know about?
Yeah. It's funny you bring that up, because when we say our dealers will say, hey, you guys make plastic furniture, and they'll put a sample in front of somebody and they're always just blown away by how robust it is. And you'll just see, if you're there and you put a product in front of them, the look on their face when they actually like sit on it or grab a hold of it, they're like, oh my gosh, this isn't just plastic furniture. This is like industrial toughness. But with that, you go to the store nowadays and you see a really high-end cooler to keep beverages cold. And that cooler might be $300 or $400. Well, you can go to a discount store and find some cheaper blow molded coolers that you maybe buy for $30, or even some styrofoam coolers you might get for $6. But it's kind of one of those things, you get what you pay for. And so with our manufacturing process, rotomolding, making just ultra strong products, real thick wall thicknesses, we also integrate the top of the line UV color stabilizers into every color we make. These extra things are what make rotomolded products more expensive just in general in the market. So either you're going to buy a cooler, you're going to buy a slide for the pool, things like that. These rotomolded products will be a higher price point, but you definitely are going to get what you pay for in a rotomolded product.
Well, I know that you had a little bit of difficulty getting into rotomolding to begin with. I mean, I read an article back in Plastics News that you had a tough time getting started. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
So when we started looking into rotomolding, at that time we were doing the cut and coated foam furniture, and I knew I needed a stronger product. And rotomolding is what stuck out to me, because I needed not just stronger products, but products that could go outdoor as well as indoor. When I first started making calls to just learn about rotomolded products, I was calling rotomolders, and those companies were making products for everybody else. And with them, they would just ask questions like, well, what kind of material do you want to rotomold? Is it LDPE, HDPE, MDPE, LLDPE, questions like that. What are your minimums? And they'd get into, what kind of UV color stabilizers do you want? And they'd start asking me all these technical questions. And I'm thinking, I've never rotomolded anything in my life. I don't know how to answer this stuff. I so happened to meet a person, his name's Tom Innes, and Tom worked for the tooling company, who's now a partner with Tenjam up in Minnesota. And Tom, he really took me by the hand and helped me get through a lot of those tough questions and helped me partner up with our first contract molder that was making our products for us. We quickly outgrew the molder and we ended up building our own factory, but that was just a interesting stage of trying to get into rotomolding manufacturing. And I don't just hear that about rotomolders. I hear that about a lot of people who are looking, have an idea for a product. They're trying to go get it manufactured. And these manufacturers are just blowing them away with the technical questions where, these young entrepreneurs or old entrepreneurs, they're just trying to get to, is this feasible? And that's what I was trying to do at that point.
Yeah, I'm sure I like the term rotomolding is like a household word with you now. That's why I wanted you to explain it a little bit, Mike, because I mean, most people aren't going to know what that is. So I think you did a great job there. I like this tagline that describes your products. Bring on the salt water, the sand, the sun, the rain, and the snow. These products can take it. Talk to us about what makes Tenjam truly unique in the outdoor living industry and what sets your products apart from competitors.
Sure. When we got our start, we were doing a lot of outdoor. We still do a lot of outdoor education. We're a leader in outdoor education of furniture. But the question would always come like, we use sidewalk salt at the school. What happens if that gets on your product? What happens if it snows on your product? Do I have to put this in storage during the winter? Hey, we're in Florida and we get airborne salt and sand. Is that going to affect it? How's the sun going to do? What's rain going to do? So, we've thought through this material. We use polyethylene, and specific for the rotomolding industry, and the UV color stabilizers we use. We think we've come to market with a product that can take on the sand, the salt, the snow, the rain, and anything you're going to bring at it. Hence why we've only had a couple warranty issues since 2015. But as we bridged from schools and then we started going into swimming pools, we already had the confidence in the material that we knew this material could go into saltwater and chlorinated pools and have the same performance that we've been seeing in schools for years.
Well, that really talks to your Splash series.
That's right.
That's your in-pool furniture and your outdoor living furniture. Can you walk us through your line a little bit?
Yeah. So we have the Splash series, and in that series, here are all the products that can live and work 24/7, 365 days a year in the pool, pending your pool isn't frozen during the winter. But so those are all engineered to work in the shallow tanning ledge, sun shelf, whatever you want to call it, of your pool. And each product has its own depth rating. So that's something entirely different. Now, the Session series, that was our original line of rotomolded products. And what goes into the Session series is just every product that can go in an outdoor environment and stay there. And that's all winter long, that's all summer long. That's our Session series product line. We have developed a product line that uses a flexible rotomolded material, and we spent a couple of years developing this flexible plastic that's recyclable and doesn't contain PVC or other things. Unfortunately, we decided to phase out the Duraflex product line this year, and we brought that product line to market in 2016. And the reason for that is because the supply chain issues of sourcing that special flexible plastic material, the cost has gone up 4 times over the past 3 years, and it takes about a year to get the material to us. So that line is getting phased out, and our full focus is on the Splash series and the Session series going forward.
Well, getting back to your Splash series, Mike, there's a few different products that you have in that line. It's not just the chaise loungers that have been popular and have been selling like hotcakes on Amazon, but you have a couple of different products out there. You have the Mibster and Moon chairs. Talk to me about those products, Mike.
Yeah, and as I'm thinking about it, you brought up sales on Amazon, and so I just want to point out before I go too far is that our core focus is sales through distribution and stocking retailers. With that, distribution wants to see us pushing sales towards them. And the way to do that was through really an online resale approach that we have right now. That includes Amazon, but some really strong online resellers as well that focus on the in-pool furniture market. Now, as far as the Splash series goes, working with distributors, retail, and getting feedback from these people on what they like to see in pool products and how we develop the Splash series is they wanted to see products that were easier to put into the pool and take out of the pool. They've had experience with furniture where you need to, remove plugs, turn them upside down, get into the pool, sink them and try to get the water in the core, then put the plugs back in, and the furniture becomes ultra heavy. And when we came to market, we were talking to people in the industry, and they said, just give us something that's easier to take in and take out. And what if we have an automated cover? And my wife's home alone, and she just needs to pull the furniture out of the pool before she covers it at night. Our furniture is designed to where it's just, you just simply just pick it up, go put it on the tanning ledge or sun shelf. And then when it's time to take it out of the pool, you lift it, they automatically drain themselves, and you can use it on the patio. And then stage 2 was we wanted furniture, because it's so easy to take in and out of the pool, we want it to look great on the patio. So when you look at our products, not only can you put them on the patio and use them on the patio and they look awesome, you can throw it in the pool and get all that same effect. Now, lastly was ergonomics. So we have chairs that are very comfortable. They have armrests, they have cup holders. We then developed the chaise lounger to be the most, and chaise is spelled S-H-A-Y-Z. The regular spelling of chaise, people would just say chase. I'm looking for a chase. And so we end up spelling our chaise how you would phonetically see it. But our chaise, we spent time developing great ergonomics, not just for a single person, but for people of like kids. We'd bring kids into the prototyping area and put them on it. We'd find guys that were like 6.5 feet tall. We'd find people of all weights and sizes and make sure that everyone was feeling comfortable on this same lounger. In our experience in making hard plastic furniture doesn't have any give. Like we're a cushioned sofa. You sit on it, the cushions contour to you. With hard plastic, if you miss the ergonomics, you really create like a super uncomfortable product. Right. So we focus on ergonomics big time, and we prototype to get those ergonomics dialed in so people of all sizes can feel comfortable on a product. And so that's a big kudos to us on how we focus on our product development, where we think other people have missed. So the chaise is super comfortable, our lounger. but we also made it crazy easy to fill, super easy to empty. We gave it armrests so people have a place to rest a drink. We gave it a snap-in riser system so we could adjust it to different pool heights. So instead of having different loungers for different pool depths, we have one ultra comfortable lounger that has this patent pending snap-in riser system that has different riser heights that you can snap in based on your pool depth. So that's our chaise. We have these Moon and Mibster chairs with armrests and cup holders. Those have been huge. And you can set them in the pool. It takes about 10 seconds for them to settle down in the pool and about 10 seconds to pull them out of the pool. Super easy. And then a line of tables that do the same thing. So as we go forward, we've learned a lot. And what we've learned is people love being able to put the furniture in and take it out by themselves without having to fill the cores. And then they want it super comfortable. So we'll just continue on that path as we go forward towards these fall shows.
Yeah, some of these products are really cool. I mean, I saw a lot of these ancillary products that you have as well, like the planters and that rad pad thing is pretty cool.
Yeah, again, that it goes to this cool balance we have between outdoor education and pools. So we have this industrial mindset that it's got to live and survive in a real tough environment like a school, but at the same time, we want it aesthetically pleasing so it looks great on your back patio at home. So you're kind of getting this ultra performance, and then it also looks great at home. So the planters are, and that's how I got to thinking about that, is the planters, we've seen planters that are, they're really heavy ceramic planters, and the schools came from schools. They just can't deal with that. And plus they break. So they wanted products that were rotomolded toughness, fun colors, but a planter that would look very cool at a school with fun colors, but also works great in hospitality, like hotels, to create buffer areas, and can work great on your back patio.
Absolutely. I mean, we touched on a few different things, but one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was a lot of the products that we've discussed in Pool Magazine are being used in residential applications.
Mm-hmm.
How does the commercial sector factor into your overarching strategy?
With the launch of the Splash series, we're seeing more and more hotel applications with our furniture, which we haven't seen in the past. So I think just overall, our mindset is just, we know we're making ultra strong products that can survive in the salt, snow, sand, rain, but just trying to give it a more, as we go forward, a more residential flavor or appeal, making the products even prettier. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's our goal now.
Well, we talked about the different distribution channels that you're working with to propel Tenjam into the mind of the consumers.
Mm-hmm.
Where can builders, distributors, suppliers learn more about Tenjam, or do you have an affiliate program or anything like that?
Yes. So when we got into this pool category, the Splash series and the in-pool use, we have 5 rep groups around that cover the entire United States, and their groups will have multiple people. And so in every local market, we have a field salesperson that they may already know if they're a distributor or even a retail store. So we can connect them with our local reps. We also have our national sales manager, John Grifford. He's great. And we do a lot of just Zoom training calls with different distributor branches. We do a lot of tabletop shows. But I think the best solution would be if people were to contact us at customercare@tenjam.com and just let us know what they're looking for. We will connect them with the local rep, give them training, go through pricing, and just everything they need to get set up.
Yeah, I think I found out about you at Carecraft.
Yeah.
You there again this year?
Yeah, we're definitely going to do that again. So as we get going in this market, it's been great. Like, we're in Carecraft, just a phenomenal group with just a great network. And we're loving where the Carecraft affiliation is going here. And I think we just committed to the hotels yesterday for their show coming up. So, where you're going to find us going into the fall is you're going to find us at the International Pool Spa Deck Show. That's in Las Vegas. That's in November. We're going to be at the Atlantic City show this time for the first time, and that's going to be in January. We're going to do the Southwest Pool Show again. We're also going to do the Everything Under the Sun show. That's going to be in Orlando. And of course, we talked about Carecraft, and the other group we're involved in is the Millennium Group. So we'll be at their annual show as well.
Terrific. Well, I'll be at a bunch of these different events, so I'll make sure to
Yeah,
stop by your booth. I want to check out some of these products that we talked about.
that sounds great. Yeah, I do love this industry because it's just a lot of great people. You guys have a lot of events in the pool market. We've learned that. So we're doing a lot of shows, but it's fun to start building these relationships and see the same faces every time we go.
Well, it's terrific that you're participating in these events. It's a great way to get your product in front of the entire pool industry. Thanks so much for spending the time with us today, Mike, and chatting with us a little bit more and giving us a little bit of education about what your product is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate the call.
Well, that's all the time we have left for today. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow, and we'll catch you next time on another episode of Pool Magazine Podcast.
Get everything you need for your next job without the hassle at AquaBluMosaics.com. We carry everything from high-quality pool tile, porcelain pavers, grout, fire and water features, and everything in between that you need to get your project done and put some money in your pocket. A literal showroom in the palm of your hand, we are the most powerful tool any pool contractor can have in their pocket. Become an Aqua Pro and save money on every order, get free samples, and have full access to our unmatched customer service. Easy to remember, hard to forget. Visit AquaBluMosaics.com.